soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines stationed all around the globe, and the families of those serving. Happy 2012 from your main man, Uncle Sam. Another year is upon us, and for many of you that means one step closer to ETS. Well, let me remind you first of all that until that time, I own your ass. Do not ever forget that you raised your right hand and swore that you would put up with whatever amount of shit I dish out until the day you separate. Second, let me address right away what is on many of your minds. Why am I not wearing my fancy suit and hat? Well, apparently you are not kids who need a cartoon-like character to trick you into being motivated, and regular professional attire is perfectly okay. As we look behind us at 2011, marked by the end of the Iraq War, we remember all of those fallen service members who made the ultimate sacrifice to keep us free. We will never forget. The coming year brings with it many challenges. Most of those challenges will be in dealing with TRICARE, or managing your money due to how overwhelmingly underpaid you are. First, let me remind you of the most important message we propagate, and that being your benefits. If you consider your free medical and dental, your housing allowance, and college benefits, then your paycheck really is not that bad. I understand that your medical care generally is very poor. You have to go to the TMC several times just to try and get the proper treatment for even the smallest thing. I also understand your dependents have to wait for months just to see a primary care physician in order to get a referral to see a specialist, which will take even longer. I understand that almost every ailment you have is treated with Motrin and water, and your every complaint is generally looked at as shamming. But at the end of the day, it is free. I also understand that most all barracks are substandard, molding, and falling apart. I understand that you are not allowed the freedom of visitors when you want. You cannot have many of the things you could have in a regular apartment or house of your own, and you cannot live the way you want because they belong to me. But at the end of the day, it is free. I understand that most of you either spend so much time downrange, or in the office working, or earning what little pay you get, that you don't have time to use your college benefits, but they do exist. So, you see, every legitimate complaint you have will never be addressed or resolved, because I can always rebut that it is free and that makes it okay. To the NCO Corps, your new year brings with it the same challenges as the previous few years. You are not allowed to properly correct, discipline, or train your soldiers, because of the ever-increasing chance that you might hurt their feelings. Look, NCOs, you no longer run as the 18-year-old private who just got off his mom's teat yesterday, and does not know any more about being a soldier than a pig knows about flying, is now the one in charge. I have empowered my IG Corps, which is a fine group of spineless officers, who care more about career advancement than taking care of leaders, to ensure that our non-commissioned officers realize a soldier's feelings are more important than actually training them to survive and operate in combat. I realize that the ultimate job of our soldier is to kill and defeat the enemy, but I have decided to place more importance on becoming a softer, weaker, fighting force more centric to the soldier's emotional needs, no matter how utterly useless that soldier may be, and no matter how much oxygen that soldier steals on a daily basis. I understand that the soldiers who are worth a shit will not whine and cry about petty shit, and the ones who do should not even be wearing the uniform of a U.S. service member. However, I have decided that the needs and cries of the weak and worthless should be of the utmost importance. The next issue I want to address is something you are all very aware of. As you all know, the military is downsizing our force due to our current overstrength. Now, I realize the first thing we should do is simply eliminate all of the utterly useless shitbags who do nothing but squander away taxpayer dollars by their mere existence, and spend their days finding more ways to do nothing, rather than simply putting their best foot forward. Whether it be the morbidly obese service member who would rather supersize their Big Mac than take interest in their ability to maneuver under fire, or the loud-mouthed shitbag who could not have possibly earned their rank, but is somehow still leading troops, or the soldier who is always hurt, sad, or otherwise drama-prone, and will do nothing in combat but get people killed. There are plenty of dirtbags we could simply toss to the curb and drastically reduce our force, and in turn, keep good soldiers, sailors, airmen or marines. However, instead, we have developed an overly complicated, costly plan to get rid of people based on silly factors like time in service or promotions, which will do nothing except eventually screw good soldiers, and retain an overwhelming number of dirtbags. This may not make sense to you, but these decisions are made well above your pay grade, and no matter how much you have given to the service, we will not listen to your cries. My way is the right way, you scumbag. In conclusion, there are many things I could do to improve your everyday life. There are many things which could be done to make things better for our service members. There are many legitimate and good ideas out there. However, rather than fight to increase your pay, we will instead continually threaten to stop it. Instead of respecting our fighting force, we will continue to overpay congressmen and women, who use your low pay as a bargaining method. Instead of improving medical treatment, we will continue to protect our doctors from legal responsibility, guaranteeing nobody needs to give a shit about your well-being. However, somehow, some way, through all the shit and nonsense I put you through, you remain the best, most highly motivated, highly trained, and most badass fighting force in the world. I do not know how you put up with it all, and still stay so shit hot, but our country is lucky you do. The average person would never be able to put up with that much shit and still endure year-long deployments and family separations, while simultaneously crushing any enemy who threatens freedom. I do not deserve the loyalty and honor you show me, but you do it daily. Happy New Year to all warriors, devil daws, sailors, and airmen. May God bless you all.